What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. If you are clicking on this video, I'm sure it's safe to assume that you are researching the Baylor Doctor of Education program with an emphasis in learning and organizational change. In this video, I'm going to give a full breakdown of the program. I am currently a student in the program, so I'm going to do my best to kind of give you the program overview. What is the cost? What are some common tech things that you're going to be utilizing within the program? And overall, my final thoughts about the program thus far. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on each of these different aspects. I will make future videos about them later. So for example, the application process, I will go in a full detail in a later video so that way you know exactly what to expect at each stage. This video is just going to be the superficial aspects of the program to really kind of get a feel of, is this going to be the right program for me? Now, the reason I'm making this video is this is the video that I would have liked had I been researching the program a few months back and I was applying. So essentially, I'm going to try to provide that for you. Now, what I want to do is value your time. So in the description below, I am providing a full breakdown of all the timestamps. So if you want to just look at what is the cost of the program, what courses am I going to be taking, things of that nature, I have them again in the description below. That being said, let's go ahead and go straight into it. I do have a few notes here on my laptop so that way it can help keep everything organized. The first thing is going to be the program overview. It is going to be a 3-year program, 54 credit hours. Now, those 54 credit hours are broken up into 15 weeks per trimester. So you are going to be taking a fall, a spring, and a summer trimester. So 3 trimesters per year, 2 classes per trimester, each of those being 3 credits. Now, there is going to be roughly about 2 weeks between each trimester. Now that's going to change depending on the time of the year, but it's roughly about 2 weeks that you'll have off between each trimester. Outside of that, it is going to be relatively straight through. Assuming that you're keeping pace with the way that the program is organized, you are going to go from one trimester directly into the next. Now, the next big one, I'm going to get straight into it, is going to be the cost. I know that if you're anything like me and you're researching a program, you want to know what exactly is this program going to cost me. Now, it is a private school education. It is ranked incredibly high. It's an R1 research institution. But with that is going to come a little bit of a hefty price tag. So it's going to be roughly about $1,700 per credit hour, plus or minus a few dollars there. But what I am paying at the recording of this video per trimester is about $10,250. That's actually what just came out of my account a few weeks ago as I am registering for my second trimester. So that is what you can expect, about $10,200. Now, what course offerings do they have? Well, the course offerings are really going to be focused on adult learning, because this program is not geared towards your K through 12 education programs. It's not really for those public school type things. It is going to be more for either university-based education, so you're teaching those that are adults, or it's going to be education you can apply in the workforce. So maybe you're the chief educational officer, maybe you're somebody who's making programs for training of all of your peers or new onboarding programs. So all of those things are really what this program is kind of geared towards, is the development and education of adults and organizational change. So kind of helping a business or a company lead through effectively as change occurs. And as we know, change is always occurring. So this is definitely a great program for that. Now, class sizes. So what size of class can you expect with an online program? Well, in my experience thus far, your classes are really going to be between about 10 people up to about 18. I haven't really seen any classes as of this point allow for more than 18 individuals to enroll in their classes. Now, what I will say is there are some situations where you have a few people drop out of the class, maybe life it gets in the way, and they decide to come back to maybe just one of their courses they're taking that semester. Then you do have some situations where in one of my classes, I did go down to 9 people. But what's nice about that is you get a lot more one-on-one attention, which is absolutely phenomenal in a doctoral program. You're going to be really connected with the staff that is going to be ultimately educating and mentoring you through your doctoral journey. Now, one other thing that you do have as a part of a program, even though it is online, is you're going to have these immersions. And the immersions are offered between your 3rd trimester and your 5th trimester. And these immersions where you actually go to Waco, Texas, and you're going to meet your cohort for the first time in person, because usually you're just talking to them via Zoom, or you're having conversations with them on the LMS, which is your learning management system. In this case for Baylor, it is called 2BU. And so you'll get very familiar with that. That's where you'll submit all your assignments. That's where you'll do all of your asynchronous work, the work that you are to do before class actually occurs. And any of your big projects will actually be submitted through your LMS. Now, that being said, what are the application process requirements? So you do have to have a master's degree from a regionally accredited institution. So assuming that you have that and you have a GPA that traditionally is about a 3.0 or higher, you are automatically going to be in good standing or a strong applicant. Now, obviously how they do their application selection process, that is them. That is not something that I am privy to. But one super nice thing about this program, I don't know about you, but I did not have to take a GRE, and that was phenomenal. I don't have to go back and restudy up on my math and my English and take that test. You can get straight on in and accepted into the program, so without having to do the GRE. So that's actually a little bit of money that you'll save right there from not having to buy study material, not having to pay for sitting for the test. So awesome thing about this program. Now, some other things about the application process is that it does entail having an essay. So you will have to write a short essay about 2 to 3 pages in length. And what's going to happen is this is a way for you to show your academic writing. They will ask that you use about 3 to 5 sources in your writing, so that way they can see your ability to integrate research and also appropriately reference those citations. You'll have a personal statement, which is typical of most graduate programs. You will do a video interview. Now, it's not like traditional video interviews where if you're anything like me, you get on a Zoom call and you're asked questions by somebody live. This is actually a pre-recorded video interview. And what's nice about it is that they will give you a link. It'll set it up where you can be on your computer and you can record the answers to each of the questions as many times as you'd like until you get it really right and just the way you want. So you're essentially putting your best foot forward because you're given so many chances. However, once you have submitted it, that is going to be the end of your video interview. Now, overall, not a bad process, very enjoyable, very easy to complete, dress up nice, just like any other video interview. You will want to include your resume or your CV and make sure that's up to date with any pertinent research opportunities that you've partaken in, your work experience. Everything is looked at to some degree from what our professors have shared with us. You will also be sending your transcripts. So you can send an unofficial electronic copy of your transcripts initially, but what will eventually happen is before you get it fully accepted into the program, you will need to have your official transcripts either emailed or sent electronically to Baylor. So that is something you want to consider. And then lastly, there is a small financial component to the application process. I think it's roughly around $200, $250 that you'll pay to get that application submitted. The next thing I want to talk about is what type of technology are you going to be using, considering it's an online doctoral program. Well, the first is going to be, like I mentioned, it's 2BU. That is the learning management system that Baylor uses. One thing I absolutely love is that they have a mobile app. So if you're wanting to check your grades quickly, you're wanting to make sure that you take use or advantage of your time. I can actually be sitting in a vehicle or waiting for a doctor's appointment, whatever the case may be. I can actually be responding to some of these discussion questions straight from my phone. So I'll actually include a quick little visual right here on camera. The next thing that you're going to be using quite a bit within the program is going to be Zoom. Okay, that is the video conferencing system that we use within our program. You actually have links in 2BU that will take you directly to Zoom and get the class started. So usually your classes are in the evening times. They are all Central Standard Time. So that is something to keep in mind when you are registering for classes. So Central Standard Time. So for me, I am in Mountain Time. So my classes are often at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time or 7:30 Central. So what I'll often do is log into my 2BU. I'll click on the little link that has the class for that day, which is really nice. It's already preloaded in for you, and you will pop up. Your instructor will let you into the course, and you'll kind of do your greetings. One nice thing about all the classes that I participated in thus far is you usually start off each class with kind of just a tell me something good, getting the class off to a great start and focusing on some of the positive either learnings or integrations that you've had from the previous week. The next one that I recommend, it is not required, but it is something you're going to want to get really good feel of, and I'll probably make a video about this in the future, is going to be Zotero. So what Zotero is that if you're doing academic writing, it's a great way to really organize and list out all of your academic references. You can put folders for every single paper that you're writing, either projects that you're doing, and you can export bibliographies, citations. It is absolutely phenomenal. I will definitely be coming out with a video on how to use Zotero. First, just kind of the basics, and then also some of the higher level things that you can do that just make your life absolutely easy when performing any type of research and making sure that you stay organized. That is something you're going to want to do. The next one is going to be the Baylor Library. So the Baylor Library is going to be all your resources for articles, books, things of that nature. Sometimes you want to use Google Scholar. You can actually connect Google Scholar to the Baylor Library. So that way, if you're just using Google Scholar, it'll make sure that you have access to any available articles that happen to be within the Baylor Library stacks. And lastly, obviously, you're going to want to have a really good internet connection. So whether you are using a wireless modem, you're going to want to make sure you have a strong signal. The school itself does not really recommend this. They do recommend that you are actually hardlined into your internet. Personally, I am not. I do have a strong signal. I actually use the Google hotspot. I think I have one back here behind the plant. So I have a great connection for my internet. I don't drop out of my Zoom calls and ensure that I'm there for the full length of class. I don't usually have any glitches either. So that might be something you want to look into. Now, the last thing I'm going to kind of finish this video off with are what are some of the drawbacks to being in an online doctoral program? Well, the first is going to be the ease of access to office hours, where if you are normally in person on campus and a doctoral student, you probably are going to be able to easily go down the hallway to the main building of education and find the professor you need to talk to and kind of get some insight of, hey, is this looking okay? Or I want to run these ideas past you. Whereas with my current program, usually you have to work through email, and they will sometimes do virtual office hours where they'll be on Zoom for a certain period of time, about an hour, 2 2 hours, and you just kind of pop in and out if you have any questions. That is a great way to just kind of curtail those. But again, if you just have one of those off-topic questions, you want to see somebody in person, you can't just quickly go and see them and have a one-on-one conversation. The next one is going to be that I would love for ways to interact with your cohort more. You have your immersions, again, in your 3rd and your 5th trimester, but having ways to interact with those who are going through the program with you is a really great way to help keep you motivated and get you through the end, because doing a doctoral program is no easy feat, especially when you get into the dissertation and all of the research that you're going to be performing. Keeping each other motivated is a great way to just kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel and ensure that everybody gets across the finish line. So one thing that I've kind of started in my program is doing like this virtual coffee hour where we'll meet maybe once a month, and we'll get together and just talk about different things that we're covering in class, talk about life, getting to know each other. But again, it's just to really build that community where you can help each other through the program, because that is community is such a strong thing to help you get through tough times, right? And lastly is going to be the differences in time zones. So for me, being in Mountain Standard Time, there's really only one class time that I can enroll for, and that's going to be the 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, or the 6:30 my time in Mountain Standard Time. And the reason being is the class that is offered before that, it is at 5:30 Central, but it's 4:30 Mountain. And so 4:30 for me, I am currently a teacher right now. I get off at 4:15. That is a very quick turnover that I need to get home and log into class. And so if I'm catch any traffic or I'm running late, last thing I want to do is get in late to my class, because if you're more than 10 minutes late to class, that is considered an absence. So that's something that you really want to make sure that you look at your schedule far enough in advance, and are you going to be able to be logging into classes and ensuring that you're not late to class and that you're maintaining a good attendance, right? So especially those in Pacific time, you want to make sure that you are keeping that in mind. Now, last thing is my final thoughts. If you really want to get more information about the program, my advisor period where I was gathering information was absolutely one of the best experiences ever. The Baylor staff is extremely knowledgeable about their program, provides you enough information. They're not pushy. I will provide a link below where you can actually get in touch with somebody, but they will get on the phone with you at a time that is best for you, and they will answer all of your questions. So they really do a nice job of making sure that you make the right decision for you. They are not trying to push you. Obviously, they want to try to get more students in, but at the same time, they want to make sure that you're going to be set up for success, and you're going to be somebody who's going to actually be able to effectively complete the program. You do want to make sure that you're disciplined. If you don't have self-discipline, it is going to be really hard to stay on top of all of the asynchronous homework. You do have to do a lot of writing and reading that is outside of class before you get into class. And more often than not, your assignments are uploaded 24 hours in advance. So you got to be on top of everything. If not, you're going to be missing out on very easy, simple points in your class. The last thing I want to kind of wrap this up with is one huge recommendation from me, and what has helped is create a designated space of where you're going to be having class. You want to treat it as almost if you were going to a physical lecture hall. So for me personally, this is kind of a office slash spare bedroom that I use, and I use this monitor right here. I log into class. I have that designated space for me to work, to study, to write any papers, and complete any assignments. And that is something that is absolutely phenomenal. Maybe you prefer to be doing your studying in a coffee shop and have class somewhere else. Have some sort of regular reoccurring space that you are going to use to dedicate that for your work time. Well, that's all I have for this video. If it has provided you with any benefit at all and helped you kind of make your decision on joining the Baylor Bear family, then please go ahead and provide me a like right there. In addition to that, go ahead and consider subscribing. I will be making videos where I go over each of my trimesters and kind of give you guys an update on how things are going, any tips to kind of help you through the semester, or overall just general tips for productivity and ensuring that you're able to maintain a nice work-life balance. So until next time, guys, peace.